I know I say it a lot, but your boy does love hand cannons in Destiny 2. Whether it's PvE or PvP, these bad boys get me going. So with the Rite of the Nine activity, I was super excited to see that Judgement was getting a perk refresh. And even though this one got another one a little over a year ago, things change. And sometimes with that, Bungie gets bold. And this hand cannon is certainly one of the better examples for Rite of the Nine. The rest of the loot pool, well, not so much, but that's a conversation for a different video. But before we go into detail on what PvE roles you might want, or my general thoughts on this hand cannon, I just want to state that if you want to stay up to date with content from me, be sure to hit that subscribe button and bell to be notified on when I do drop more content. Without the way, let's jump in and talk about all the perks with this Stasis hand cannon. So as per usual with all the perks, we are labeling it so you guys can follow and reading it from right to left. Now with the origin traits for Rite of the Nine weapons, we're going to have two: Crossing Over and Gravity Well. Crossing Over is going to be the origin trait from Prophecy. This is a Prophecy weapon, hence why it's here. And this weapon has increased range and handling for the top half of the magazine, while rounds from the bottom half of the magazine deal increased damage. That increased damage is going to vary from 1.5% to 3% increased damage, depending on how low in the mag you are. It's a perfectly fine origin trait. Gravity Well, the reloading, automatically gathers nearby ammo, is also fine. Both origin traits, I feel like you can give me something more, but Crossing Over I think is the better option here. Now in column 4, we have Adrenaline Junkie, Paracausal Affinity, Rhyme Stealer, Opening Shot, Time Payload, and Precision Instrument. Next to that in column 3, we have Demolitionist, Keep Away, Lone Wolf, Headstone, Rapid Hit, and Slide Shot. And then for magazines, we have the usual Accurized rounds, Appended Mag, Tactile Mag, Extended Mag, Steady Rounds, Alloy Magazine, and Flared Magwell. Now in all, this is going to be a very nice set of perks for a 140 hand cannon in PvE, and honestly a much improved set from the previous version we saw in Season of the Wish. Now in this section, I'm going to bring up both perk pools. On the left is going to be the old perk pool for Judgment, and on the right is going to be the new perk pool we just went over. And this, in my opinion, is going to be a perk refresh gone right. On the left, everything highlighted are going to be the perks that are removed, and on the right, everything highlighted are going to be the perks that were added. I love the addition of Paracausal Affinity, Rhyme Stealer, and Precision Instrument. Same mostly goes for column 3, though I will say losing out on Moving Target for PvP is going to be an L, but not the end of the world. Lone Wolf is going to be a thing. But in all, with this comparison between the old and the new, this is a really healthy perk refresh and one of the better ones we saw from Rite of the Nine weapons. Unlike my words for the greasy luck in my previous video, Bungie, with perk refreshes, we want more stuff like this and, elevating a weapon and filling it out more rather than taking away some of the good stuff and then adding perks that just don't make sense for the weapon. But that's a different conversation if you want to see what I said on greasy luck annotation here on screen. So you guys saw what was different from the previous versions. What are some God rolls you will want for PvE now that things have changed? Well, here on screen will be both God rolls. The one on the right is my go-to. The one on the left is equal in value and power. So with both roles, Fast Draw, HCS, Tactile Mag, and Demolitionist is going to be a must. And with column 4 on the left, we have Time Payload, and on the right, we have Paracausal Affinity. Both God rolls, I want to reiterate, are really, really strong, and we'll break down kind of why I prefer Paracausal Affinity over Time Payload. But yeah. Now, since we haven't had to worry about sights as perks for some time, I will talk about Fast Draw for a moment. We get plus 15 handling, plus 5 stability, and plus 5 aim assistance here. I like more handling here because I usually use my special weapon very often. And since we're using Paracausal Affinity and stuff like that, yeah. But since this is PvE, other options will be okay. It just depends on what stats you're looking for. Now, again, with Optic, I'm not going to really end all be all with this is going to be make or break for your God roll. It's PvE. Just keep that in mind. Now, Demo is always a perk that I love. And with the changes to stats in Armor 3.0, I do see this perk being even more juice. So, weapon kills grant 10% grenade ability energy. And using your grenade ability refills the magazine with a 3-second cooldown. Who doesn't love an easy grenade regen and a easy reload refill? Like, Demo is a great perk. Now, for column 4, it's important to mention why I lean a little more on Paracausal Affinity than Time Payload. This is a super easy damage buff and a slightly higher one than Time Payload. So with this perk, scoring a kill from any source matching the elemental alignment of the weapon grants 20% increased damage for 6 seconds. This buff can be activated while stowed. I love this perk. It's still one of my favorites in the game, and unlike some other DPS perks, I don't need to just get a weapon kill with this weapon to get a DPS buff. I can use any alignment, and since this is going to be a darkness based weapon, anything strand or stasis will trigger it. But let's say you don't like what I'm selling you there. Time payload is equal in power, especially with how easy it is also to use. So projectiles attached to enemies explode after a short delay. And a specific breakdown of this, it splits off 55% of the weapon's body shot damage into an explosive payload that detonates after 0.6 second delay. The payload deals 30% increased damage in PvE and staggers PvE combatants more. The remaining impact damage portion receives an increased crit multiplier to compensate for the payload not benefiting from crits. So total increased damage is going to be by 6.5% of the weapon's body shot damage. On crits, the overall increase is 10.9% for adaptive and precision hand cannons and 10.17% for aggressive hand cannons. It's important to note this is going to be an adaptive frame hand cannon. But yeah, time payload is really incredible. You get damage buffs in general, and it's a simple way of just having the perk increases your damage naturally. Also with time payload, it's important to mention, besides it being solid, it's not a very common one in the game. When a hand cannon has time payload, it usually means you chase it for it. The last time we had this perk on a hand cannon besides, I guess you could say, the previous version of Judgment, because it also had this, was on Combined Arms in Season of the Deep. And then before that, the DFA hand cannon when Season of the Haunted reintroduced it into the Nightfall loot. Yeah, this is a rare perk, so chase it. But yeah, both of these are the ideal God rolls you will want. Now, for those wondering why Headstone Rhyme Stealer isn't on here, well, unless it's a 120 Exuve, I don't think that this is a valuable combo here. Honestly, it's a little bit overrated in my opinion, but that's all I'm gonna say on that. Headstone Rhyme Stealer on this hand cannon is a bit overrated. Don't really chase it, not really flashy, but it leads into the next part, that there is a general lingering issue with Stasis Primaries. They don't have that pop like other kinetic primaries. The Stasis energy type just needs something more for primaries, because in most cases, you really are using the Stasis special weapons that have juice. The Iron Banner rocket assisted frame is one to think of, and of course some other stuff that are exotics, but excluding exotic stuff, Stasis specials are kind of really what you're using the most. This has been a long-standing problem for a while. Maybe it's addressed in Edge of Fate, but as of now, seems like something to keep in mind if you do chase it. It's one of the main reasons I never truly recommend Stasis Primaries as the top dogs, but they can be fun, and Judgment is going to be one of those fun times you can have in Destiny. But yeah, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think on this one. How do you feel on Judgment? Also, if you found this video informative, be sure to hit that like button. Helps out the video a ton. Like I said before, if you want more from me, be sure to hit that subscribe button and bell to be notified on when I do drop more content. But that's pretty much all I have for this one. Thank you guys for watching. It is greatly appreciated. Until next time, ShadowNinja here, and I'm out.